Welcome to the Fortify experience, where in the next 10 minutes or so I will be sharing with you a pass through a simple process that's personalized for you to help you quickly build up being proactive. The Fortify process does this by guiding you to be able to see, hear, and feel yourself being that person that you truly want to be. Because the better you feel about who you are, the more you can create satisfying relationships, a healthy self-image, and a greater self-esteem, and these things can carry you into a more positive, productive, and fulfilling path forward. Now, what's the value of being proactive? You're able to initiate positive actions towards your desired outcomes. Another thing is that you can use your power to unite support or supporters for your cause. And in short, you're just able to get a lot more things done. Now, during this process, you're going to be filling in 7 blanks from A through G, so have a piece of paper and pencil handy so you can write down your answers. And if at any point during the video you need extra time to complete the statements, feel free to pause the video. And if at first you have trouble thinking of your own specific examples, feel free to use the examples in this video as your own. It'll still work. So let's begin the process. The first step is to fill in the blanks to a statement saying the thing that stops me from seeing, hearing, or feeling myself being proactive is B. So now write down being proactive for A, and then write down why it specifically stops you for B. So examples can be, I'm afraid of being silenced, or maybe I don't think people value what I want, or it could be, I'm too timid. So fill in the blanks for the thing that stops me from seeing, hearing, or feeling myself. A, being proactive, is B. Fill in your own personal B. The next statement is the reason this bothers me is because it makes me feel C. Now this is your uncensored, real, underlying feeling. And this can be a feeling like, I want to be invisible, or it makes me feel worthless, or maybe makes me feel inadequate. So now fill in your C for the reason this bothers me is because it makes me feel C. Now in step 3, which is the key to the ingenuity and effectiveness of the Fortify process, we're going to uncover the specific positive aspect within you that is unintentionally being ignored, dismissed, dishonored, or forgotten in this situation. This positive aspect is something that you love, value, or respect about yourself, and you know to be true about yourself, but it's missing when you're feeling C. So the statement is the fact that I feel C demonstrates that the positive thing I love, value, or respect about myself is D, where D is some aspect of yourself that's not being used or honored in this situation. So examples could be, I'm honest and trustworthy. Or maybe, I love doing crafts. Or it could be, I aspire to be constructive. So the statement again is, the fact that I feel C demonstrates that the positive thing I love, value, or respect about myself is D. Now in step 4, it's time to fortify D in your mind-body system. And this is easy because it's a time when you simply remember a time in your life when you were activating and using D, that positive aspect that you discovered in step 3. And these are memories that remind you that you have been able to trigger that positive aspect D naturally and automatically in other situations in your past. So the statement is, I know D because E. So now search your memory and find any pattern or circumstance in any area of your life that confirms the fact that you possess that positive attribute D. Now at this point in time, there could be many examples of it, but sometimes the simplest ones can be the best. So some examples could be, I keep secrets. Or maybe, I love making things for my family and friends. Or, I do whatever I can to be helpful. So the statement again is, I know D because E. Now in step 5, it's time for you to think of a specific time when you experienced that positive value in the past. Statement is, a specific time when I really felt the strength and power of E was F. Examples are, when I planned a surprise party for my spouse, or when I gave away my crafts as holiday gifts, or when I bring food to my handicapped neighbor. So fill in your specific F for a specific time when I really felt the strength and power of E was F. Now we go to step 6. Now remember back to that time, F, and re-experience that whole experience and that event and what it felt like, and really feel how good you felt and how strong it made you feel. And feel the inner strength of that experience that makes you feel inspired, empowered, or really good about yourself. And make that feeling really strong, and then double it and triple it until you can feel that feeling vibrating all throughout your whole body. And now identify, in a word or two, what's the underlying real strength there. The statement is the underlying real strength that made F so powerful for me was G. Examples can be the joy of giving, or I felt delighted, or it could be self-satisfaction. So now fill in your G. And then we go to step 7, which is the copy process. This is where you're going to copy or embed that real strength G from another time in your life into that issue that you started out with. Now focus on that powerful real strength, that feeling G in your body, and hold on to it and make it really strong, and then double it and then triple it until you can feel that feeling G vibrating through your entire body. And then imagine taking some of that powerful energy G and putting it into a ball in one of your hands while still holding on to that strength G in your body. And feel that strength and that energy pulsating in your hand. And so as you hold a ball of that powerful energy G in that one hand, remember what that feeling C felt like? Put a ball of that energy C into the other hand. And now we're going to experience that powerful NeuroLinguistic Programming technique that is really awesomely effective. We're going to use that powerful positive energy G, the ball of G that's in your one hand, as a solvent that's going to completely dissolve that negative energy C in your other hand. So as you start bringing these balls of energy together, you bring your hands together and start noticing how the positive energy can literally dissolve the negative energy, and keep mixing that solvent of positive energy in with the negative energy until all of the C energy is totally and completely dissolved, and all you can feel is that positive energy G. And really enjoy feeling how good it feels. And so now let's see how you did. Start a new list and write down your original A using the same A as you used before, being proactive. So complete the statement, the thing that stops me from seeing, hearing, or feeling myself A, being proactive, is B. Now write down your new B. Now you may be surprised that your new B is different from your original B. And this is fantastic because when this happens, it proves that your previously hidden inner strength has both been activated and installed into that original feeling that you started out with. Otherwise, your B would be the same as it was before. This is the uniqueness of the Fortify process. It proves that your state of mind has progressed because it validates that you have transformed and shifted yourself into a different and perhaps more powerful state of mind, or a more peaceful state of being. And this is a benefit that you can't get from any other technique. So at this point, if you've not been able to answer nothing for B, that's fine, because all it means is that you can simply come back, do more processes through the Fortify, through the Fortify process, so that you can find and stack additional positive inner strengths into that original situation. And each time you come back, you will be using the newer B until you can finally answer nothing for B, or until you're satisfied with the progress that you've already made. Depending on the complexity of the issue, you might have to do numbers of passes through the Fortify process before you can finally answer nothing. That happens to me where I've had to do it many times or several times through the process. But finally, when I get to the answer of nothing, that's when I'm able to really feel relieved, because that's when I just don't feel the same grip or sting of that original situation. And not only that, but I can feel myself and see myself feeling more in control, more self-confident, and recognizing options and inner strengths that I didn't realize that I had before. And when you just don't feel the same anymore, imagine how different things can be when similar situations come up in the future. Can you imagine how good you can feel in the future, having built up being proactive within yourself? You might wind up being more surprised than you can even imagine. And not only that, but by activating and embedding these previously hidden positive inner strengths, you've also boosted your self-esteem and self-image for that situation. And this is something that can never be taken away from you now that your real strengths have been brought into your conscious awareness. And don't be surprised if you find yourself exhibiting those real strengths in other areas of your life too, because now you're consciously aware that you have those strengths, and that means you'll be able to use them to your advantage. For me, it's always fun and eye-opening to do the Fortify process because it makes me feel good to find and activate inner strengths that I forgot that I had. I hope you have surprising and rewarding insights about yourself like I have had. You see, Fortify guides you to choose new ways of operating so that instead of dismissing or dishonoring yourself and your abilities, it magnifies your inner strengths and brings them into your conscious awareness and empowers you. So now, as we thank you for joining us, we suggest that you look at the other issues that we cover in our YouTube videos to see what might apply to your other situations. And please tell your friends and family about these videos, because you never know who they can help. And they're all free with no strings attached. We would love to hear about your Fortify experiences. So send your comments to thefortifyexperience@gmail.com. And also check out our Facebook page and the Fortify Kindle book on Amazon.com by clicking on the links below. And please subscribe to our channel so that we can keep you informed of new information and new videos. Thank you again for joining us. See you next time.